we're back for another in the episode of Meet Your Life Coach. Yes, I'm your host, Nicolene Bernard, and I'm also the author. That's just one of my titles of the very inspiring book called A Long Walk, Journey to Self. Yep, that's my name right there. And I've also created, with the help of my niece, my wonderful niece, Daniela White, that's Daniela Marie White, this journal. It's called Journey to Self. It's a personal growth journal. And it's a beautiful picture, isn't it? I love the ocean. And what's so special about this journal is we have some very thought-provoking questions inside. It's a 370-page journal. Each page has an inspirational quote. Some of them are mine. Some of them are from folks that you've known. It has 370 pages. Each page has an inspirational quote. And it has, I don't know how many, but a lot of very deep thought-provoking questions in the front. And this journal is the first step toward you getting naked with yourself, or getting naked with my help. So you can find both of those on Amazon by going to our website, which is www.speakwithlove.info, and you'll find the links on there to purchase a copy of your book. But I digress. Today, I have an interview with the awesome Crystal. She's one of our life coaches. She's excited to jump on here and talk with us today. But I just wanted to give you guys a reminder. Look at my shirt. This is a beautiful shirt. And the reminder, the word of the day today is kindness. Be kind. With that being said, and without further ado, let's invite Crystal in right after this break. And so we can get to know who Crystal is, what she does, and why she does what she does. That's proper English? Yeah. Why she do what she do, why she does what she does. Yeah, but you know what I mean. So we'll be right back. Thank you. Crystal, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Do you want my shirt?
I love your shirt.
I love them so much. You did a great job. And I get so many questions everywhere I go. That's a nice shirt. The one that says "Be Human," that's my favorite. So great job. I really love it. And I'm like, I'll wear one today so she can see how awesome her work looks.
It looks wonderful on you. Thank you for wearing it.
Oh, no trouble at all. How are you? How have you been? We haven't seen each other in a minute. So Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes. Can you believe it's almost March? So
I know.
Yeah. So I've been doing well. Hope you have.
I have been. How's your family?
They're doing well. Everyone's doing well.
Okay.
And yours?
Oh, I'm sorry. I kind of lost you there for a minute. That's great. I've been extremely busy recently trying to juggle a lot of things, and I know a lot of us have that going on right now. I've been having a hard time finding that time and space for some self-care. So I told myself this week, you're doing too much, Nicolene. You need to take a break and take care of yourself. So I started doing that, and I'm already feeling better. And today, I'm excited to talk to you today because we're going to talk about self-care, how folks should take care of themselves so they can be able to start living their best lives and just be better individuals for the ones they love, their family, their friends, and to take care of themselves. So
Absolutely.
I've had a couple of conversations with other coaches, great interviews, and so I'm very excited to talk to you today so we can learn a little bit more about you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, there's probably a lot to tell.
We're here for it.
So I am a wife and a mom of 3 boys that are all grown young men right now. And I'm a GG to 2 beautiful grandchildren. And a life coach, of course. And a boutique and a boutique owner. So I feel like I feel a lot of avenues. But yes, my favorite position is being a wife and a mom.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, they're lucky to have you. So what led you down the path? What made you choose to become a life coach?
Well, that's a loaded question. I didn't even know what life coaching was, to be honest with you. Most of my life, people have always come to me for advice. My family members, my friends in high school, co-workers as I became an adult. And I've always had a passion for people. So I feel like that's kind of how it came to play. But to be honest with you, how it really came to life is I used to run. I don't anymore. I wish I did. I kind of missed that. But I would run on my lunch hour. And I was going through a very stressful time in my life and just felt miserable. Like, you know, what am I supposed to be doing? What's my purpose? I didn't know what it was. And I would run every day and this thought kept coming to my mind, life coach. And I remember just stopping in my tracks and saying, I don't even know what that is. What is that? You know? And so I go back home and I Google it, I research it, and I went to Liberty and became a certified life coach through Liberty and American Association of Christian Counselors. And then I went and got my psychology degree from Liberty as well. So that was in 2012. And so in 2015, I started life coaching part-time. And then June of 22, I retired from Catawba County as a program manager from the Department of Social Services after 22 years to do life coaching full time.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. So, you know, you got some idea what you're talking about.
A little bit.
A little bit, but that's great. I love, and it sounds like you're really passionate about what you do because you've gone further to make sure that you get the knowledge that you need to be able to help your clients. So that's lovely, because one of the things we want to make sure is that we have qualified persons who are actually helping our clients to get past these impediments that they may be facing and moving forward. So congratulations on doing all that while being a mother of 3 boys.
Yes, I enjoy life coaching very much. I feel like that I do make a difference in people's lives, and oftentimes I get more a blessing from them than I feel like I give them. So it's a win-win situation.
That's great. And it's important. You know what? One of the things I've found from talking to folks that have taken that career path that you have, or I identify with myself as well, a lot of times you'll be led to what your purpose is or what you need to do in life, because life will give you hints. Like you said, folks would come to you and always talk to you and find comfort into telling their situations to you, sometimes not necessarily asking for your help, but just because your personality allows them to be comfortable to talk to you. And that's a great indication. Sometimes will tell you what you're meant to do. And life have a way of making you uncomfortable until you're doing what you're meant to do. So have you found that urge that's gone since you started down this path?
Absolutely. I will tell you, like probably December of 2021, maybe September of 2021, I got this huge burden to do it full time. And I thought, that's crazy. I don't even know what that looks like, how to pursue that. And so in December, it's like it wouldn't go away. And I thought, I'm just going to have to do it. So January of 22, I turned in my retirement and said, I'm going to retire in June of 22 to pursue life coaching full time. And I have not regretted one time. It's been amazing.
That's great. I'm glad you say that, because sometimes, and that's kind of that urge, that fire inside is really important. I'm proud of you for taking that leap, even sometimes when you can't even see where you're going to land, but that urge is inside of you. That's what, and you listen to your voice. That's how I started to write my book, because I've had this urge to share and to write about my experiences so I can help others. But I've kind of suppressed it for so many years, because in the reality of life, the bills need to be paid, and you're going to think of something that you can do to make sure that you take care of the bills. But then there's that fire within you that's telling you that you should be doing something else or doing something more. And I'm proud of you, because you put that resignation in without even knowing how this was going to turn out. So you followed your gut, you followed your heart. I took some time off from work in 2021, I think it was, and without knowing what was going to happen, I knew I had to write my book at that point. If I didn't, it was to the point where I couldn't think of anything else until I did that. And I took the leap and I wrote it. And then as I was writing it, that was kind of healing for me too. And it was also opening up to me what I needed to do next. And so after written, I came up with the journal. And then, by taking that time away from the constant pull of everyday career, 9 to 5, I was in a place where I could think, and then it could come to me what I needed to do next. And that led to the Naked Challenge program that we're now working on. And I say that to say to other folks that there may be something that's pulling you where you need to do something, but that fear of not knowing what next. And a lot of times, until you're getting naked with yourself, you won't be able to know what the next step is. And so that's why I'm very excited about what we're doing, because our job is to help people to identify whatever these roadblocks are, and then work on how do they remove these impediments? How do they go forward? How do they get to the core of themselves and then build from there? So I'm excited to have you on our team and contribute. Now, what kind of coaching do you do? And I know you're a life coach, but that's a general topic. Do you have special tools that you use? Is there a specific thing that you focus on? What can clients expect when they choose you to be their life coach?
Well, my niche originally, and it still is positive thinking. So that was when I first started it, that was my goal, is to switch the negative thoughts that people have on a daily basis to a more positive, because a lot of times that's where our worth comes from. Like, we think we're not good enough a lot of times because we feed off the negative thoughts. And if we can learn how to switch those thoughts to more positive, then that's how we grow in a positive manner. So that I do that a lot. But as I've ventured out, I find the need of more of a marriage relationship coaching as well. So I do a lot of that. People come to me for a relationship, whether it just be dating. A lot of times it could just be relationships with parents and their grown children, their teenagers, marriages, just a number of things, just building relationships and making them healthy and balanceable so that they could be fruitful.
Well, that's lovely, because relationships are so important. I often talk about, and I personally believe that a lot of who we are starts in childhood, and it's based on the relationship we have with our parents, whether they're present or not. But that really kind of puts us, teaches us, or indicates what kind of adults we're going to become based on those relationships. And even as adults, the type of relationships that we're capable of having. So relationships are super important. The relationship you have with others, and most importantly, the relationship you have with yourself.
Right. Yes.
And we're all about self. So I'm excited to, I'm always saying I'm excited. I was saying earlier that I'm excited because I'm excited about everything, but I am because I'm so passionate about what we're doing. And another thing I'm so excited about is the team that we have, because if clients were to go on my website and look at different coaches that we have, everyone is different. But then what makes it so beautiful is we all have the same goal. We all want the same thing, and everyone's extremely passionate about what they do, and which is to help folks, to help them to take care of themselves, to take better care of themselves, and to help them to heal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So give me an idea what, I know you talk about relationship mostly that you focus on, but are there any special tools that you use with your clients when they come in? I know that most coaches will give assignments, but what can someone expect when they work with you?
Typically, I mean, there's all kinds of tools in our toolboxes as coaches, but typically it just depends on that particular client and what their need is. So a first session, it's pretty much just to get to know them and then to get to know me. And I kind of just listen and see what they have to say, but I always give homework at every session. So it may be some things that they need to work on personally for their inner being. And so I'll give them some homework on that, and then they'll bring it back at their next session, and then we'll talk about it. So it's kind of like that. It just depends on what the client needs, what I feel like they need.
True. And I know that some folks, I talk about this a lot, you know, the stigma associated with having a therapist or seeking any kind of help, either if you have mental health issues, or just seeking any kind of help. People are sometimes afraid to talk about it, that they're being assisted. But I always talk about, if you need help for medical issues, you'll go to a doctor. There's nothing wrong with that, but folks find it so hard to accept or to even let anyone know that they're seeing a therapist or they have a life coach. One of my goals is to remove that, and so people will find that it's okay and it's normal, because we all have these that we need to get past, and it's okay to need help. But great, and one of the great things is being able to ask for help or seek help. There are some folks I know who need to have both a therapist and a life coach. What do you think the difference is between either what a therapist does and what a life coach does?
Well, recently I've encountered a client that has come to see me, and she's in an abusive relationship. So that's the reason she's coming, but I've had to recommend her to a therapist because there's deeper issues there. I was afraid for her life, not from her spouse, but from her, some self-harm. And so I recognized that really quickly in our first session and said, we need to find you a good therapist. Let's talk about that. I explained the difference. We're not doctors. We don't prescribe medicines, and we are here to listen and help in any way that we can. But sometimes you need a little bit further help. She was very reluctant to do that. She did not. It took a lot for her to come to speak to me. But after 3 sessions, she has decided to see a therapist, and it has worked really, really well. And she realized where she was going and how dangerous she was to herself, not just the relationship that she was in.
That's beautiful. And that you made a great point, because coming to see a life coach will help you from where you are. I tell folks a therapist is needed sometimes because some folks have really, really traumatic things that they've been through or that they are going through. And a lot of times you need that work to get back to what's causing it, what caused you to accept or allow it, or to experience. But a life coach meets you exactly where you are. They're not necessarily back to root cause. They're going to meet you where you are and help you to figure out what to do next. And that's very important, because a lot of times, and from folks I've talked to, and from me myself, I've experienced domestic abuse for many, 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 many years. Now, the shame that was associated with that, shame I felt, I was ashamed of myself. I was ashamed because I felt like I would let everyone down if they knew what I was allowing to happen to me without, getting away from it. All these things prevented me from doing anything. And for 15 years, I endured that. But what I always wish was that I had someone who could help me because I was in a rut.
Right.
I just needed someone who was going to guide me out of that rut. And a lot of times we find ourselves going in cycles, or we just going in circles. We can't move on. And that's what a life coach does. They meet you where you are. They help to take the next best step. Like you did this. She needed a therapist, but she had to get a life coach to tell her that's what she needed to do.
Absolutely. And, and she still comes and sees me, and we have made great strides. But I also think life coaches are sort of like a personal cheerleader. We cheer people on where they need to go and where they want to go. And that's the part that I enjoy the most is, cheering them on, even when you're not in a session with them. Sometimes I'll shoot a text to them and say, I was thinking about you today. Hope you're doing well. Those kind of things, just touching base with them, even when they're not in a session. And it makes a difference in their lives.
I love that you use cheerleader. We were talking earlier in an interview. We talked about a life coach being like a cheerleader. So you just confirmed that, because it's like having someone in your corner who's a best friend,
yes,
who's not biased. They're going to always tell you as it is, and just the comfort of knowing that they've got your back. They're being truthful to you. They want to see you succeed. They support you, and they're going to guide you. And if you fall back, they're there to push you forward and just help you make the best decisions for yourself. Choosing a life coach, I feel like, is one of the best self-care things someone could do.
yes.
Because it's like a package. You have everything you need in one. And it just feels good sometimes to know that support is there. So a life coach is like a best friend, a true best friend.
It is. Little cheerleaders here.
Cheerleader. I love that you said cheerleader, because I feel like that's the perfect way to describe it. Someone's got your back and they believe in you.
Yes.
And for some folks, they don't have that. They don't have that support. They don't have it in their marriages. They don't have it in their relationships. They don't have it in their family, their community. A lot of folks are out there in a crowd, but they're lonely. And just having that person, that cheerleader, is what's going to push them. So again, Miss Excited, I'm super excited for us. Excited about the work that we have done, what we're doing, and the work that we have to come. And I'm so grateful that I have you on our team, with the experience that you have, the passion that you have for what you do. And I know that whoever decides to work with you, we're making a great choice, because I just know that you've got them.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be on the team. Been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this interview. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I thought, we'll just go in it and see how it goes. So here we are.
Yeah, that's what I love about these conversations. I don't even want to consider it as, I guess technically it's an interview, but it's like just having a talk, like you'll have a coffee break and just talk and get to know about each other. And I want it to be, and it has been, just relaxing and comforting folks to kind of get a peek, into who they'll be working with, and why you do what you do, and what to expect when they work with you. So I feel like we've accomplished that. I feel like folks, having seen these episodes, will feel more comfortable that whatever hesitations they have, it's normal, because that's what the society is teaching us, but they have to make a choice and choose themselves and do something that's going to get them out of this little cycle that they're in. Because we all want better for ourselves, but sometimes we just don't know where to start. And that's where we're in.
And I think a lot of times people are hesitant to seek help because of shame and judgment. So I always tell my clients when they're there, this is a non-judgment area. It's confidential. It's judgment-free. We are here to just help you in any way we can. And when they realize that, they truly do open up really well.
Mm-hmm. And remind them that although they may not know it at the moment, that they have everything that they need.
Absolutely. Yes.
To get to where they want. They just kind of need someone to steer them a little bit and help them take the blindfolds off. But they already have everything they need in them. And that's what I love about it when someone says when they get that little light bulb moment, they're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I can do this. It's going to be okay.
Yes. Yes, I do experience that with a lot of my clients, that it's not as fearful as they thought it was going to be once they get there. They're like, oh, I'm so glad I did this. I'm like, it's not as bad as you anticipate. We always psych ourselves out to make things a lot worse than what they are.
Yeah, and that we need someone just to show us that it's not. And these, what it also does is, I know a lot of people watching and they're realizing that some of the questions I ask and some of the experiences that we share on here just show folks that you're not alone. Like, there are other people out there who are feeling the same way that you're feeling, but then there's a way for you to get past it. And there are others who have taken that leap and they're seeing results on the other side.
Right.
I started seeing change in my life until I got a life coach. I got someone who was very honest with me. I did the naked challenge myself because I felt like I was at a point where it was either me doing that work from within, or I felt like I would have just crashed and continued to spiral and crash and burn. And I don't know if it was God, but something just told me that I needed to get to find out who I was. And the moment I got to that, I was honest enough with myself to do the work, and I got to the core of who I was. I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like some of the things I learned. But from that place, I was able to take off all the little things I was using to cover up the true me, and started building from there. And even then, when I felt stuck, my coach was able to help me, to guide me to where I am today. So I'm excited about the work that we have to do. And like I said, I'm happy to have you on our team. I appreciate you coming to talk to me today, especially on the weekend. So I do appreciate your time, and I look forward to what we've got to do in the future.
I'm very excited. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it, and I love your shirt.
I know. Thank you. You have a great Saturday, Crystal.
You too. Thank you so much.
And thanks for sharing.
All right. Bye.
Bye.